Hello, Internet, and are you ready to...
To motorboat?
I was gonna say just like hello.
Yeah, I'm totally ready to motorboat some breasts.
Me too, dude. Yeah, me too.
And titties. Welcome
Hell
to
yeah.
Man Titties. That's the name of our.
The man titties. No, this is Stroke My American Footballs, the football review show where the predictions don't matter and the people are not analysts at all.
Nobody cares. No, just kidding.
Nobody cares. We unfortunately missed predicting for the Thursday game, except me, and I will actually see now if I got that right. I did! Yay! I got
It's
it
weird.
right.
I just noticed this. It auto voted me for this week, and it auto voted the Bears. So I was technically correct, even though I didn't know.
Yeah, it'll auto vote you if you don't get a prediction in. So we're here to talk about...
As far as I know, as far as I've seen, it doesn't auto vote.
I checked my options, and I select auto pick.
Oh, you checked auto pick. That's why it auto picked for you. Then there you go. It picked the most likely to win them, like by the user consensus, probably.
Yeah, it'd be a user consensus to see who would most likely win, and I was going to go with the Bears anyway.
So yeah. This week we're going to talk about last week's game. We'll talk about the Thursday night game, and then we'll predict the Sunday and Monday games. Sorry we didn't get to predict the Thursday night game. It's just people were distracted by GTA 5 and I was distracted by boobs and butts, as you are. Articles. There's not many interesting articles out. There was one where I was like, I don't know whether to take this seriously or what. This is an article predicting what is the game going to be like by the year 2020. NFL 2020. They have apparently got 3 episodes of this. Episode 3, what came out this week, is The Game. So apparently Triple H is going to be involved in the NFL in 2020. Who knew? It's like, will we have an 18-game season? Will players be communicating each other with through helmets? The future of the NFL may surprise you. And then it goes into some facts here. The NFL has a history of playing games internationally, including 2 games in London this year. But by 2020, the league could actually have an international franchise. We take a look at the history of the NFL abroad and predict where the game could expand in the future and how fast you can get there. They've had 26 games played in Canada, 1 in Ireland, 17 in the UK, 1 in Australia, and 1 in Sweden. They've had 5 games in Germany, 5 in Spain, and 8 in Mexico. The teams that have played the most international games, I'll go from bottom to top with the least. Tied with the least international games played of the most is Chicago and Denver with 8, followed by the Steelers and the Cowboys with 9, followed by San Francisco with 11, followed by the Bills with 13. By 2020, the NFL might have a team in Europe, perhaps even London. If so, what would traveling be like for that team? Also, what if NFL expanded to cities like Berlin and Tokyo? How long would it take for teams in America to go to these countries? And it's predicted those times, told us what the times would be on the fastest plane possible to go to those areas. And that's basically what this whole episode is about. Apparently they've had 3. I've not seen the other 2, and I can't decide to choose the other 2. But apparently they're predicting that players could be communicating with each other through helmets. There might be an 18-game season. There's probably going to be an international franchise by that point.
So they're kissing their own asses.
Yeah, they're kissing their own asses.
I still don't see an 18-game season.
I don't think we're going to get any more teams.
No, but what they're saying is, say, a team like the Jaguars might end up in London. is what they're saying.
The London Jaguars.
That's definitely possible.
And they're probably going to end up with like a new name and a new look and a new stadium. That's essentially what they're
You know, it'd
saying.
be really funny if they have the same name but they pronounce it differently.
The Jaguars, how it's
Instead,
supposed
it's
to be
like, we're not
pronounced.
the Jacksonville Jaguars, we're the Jaguars.
Well, the Jaguars. It's proper fucking English. Get it right.
I would fucking love them if they did that. It's just like, it's pronounced differently.
It's pronounced differently.
The Jaguars are one of the teams that are, like, have been up for contraction, and no one is going to those games anyway. They're getting a very low fan base. We've discussed this before.
They're probably like deep in the red right now.
Yeah. The Jags are definitely the worst off. There's been talks of teams going to Canada, teams going to London. If Britain does get a team, can you give us anybody other than the Jaguars, please?
I don't know. That's like the cheapest. That's the cheapest team they could afford.
Just give us something, you know, or give the Jags to Canada. We'll fucking take the Bills. At least they're better than the Jags.
Well, if they got the name the Jags and then fired everyone on the team and then hired everyone else, no.
Yeah, that's what they would need to do. I would think if they bought the Jags, they would just scrap the entire team and start fresh.
I just don't know what makes them think moving a team internationally would do any good for anybody. I mean, yeah, if it's a home game, then you have to have a team that travels there. And, you know, there's like jet lag and things like that all to take into consideration that could make that team at home win. But that's still not good for... I mean, you got the visiting team that's got to make like a fucking, 4 to 6 hour flight. Then you got the fucking home team that's traveling all across America to make fucking 4 to 6 hour flights and whatever else have you. International games are not... having an international fucking league isn't a good idea. There's kind of been a reason that this has stayed in America. This isn't like...
You know, everyone's kind of busy playing and enjoying actual football. Rugby / stuff like that.
Yeah, well, no, to be fair, it's starting to get a following here in Britain. But that doesn't mean it's a good idea to bring a team over here.
I watched a fucking rugby game, it's awesome.
Yeah, rugby is fucking amazing, dude. Six Nations is like the best thing of rugby. Like, me being, you know, a Welsh patriot, it's great to see Wales kick England's ass every time at rugby. It's great. We took away their Grand Slam. We won a Grand Slam. It's great. We won two...
I think it would be interesting if, say, the NFL expanded to other countries and started having leagues in other areas. And then at the end, they take the champions from every different league they have, and then they throw them into a big championship match to determine the world champion.
Oh yeah, that'd be different. Like, it's just like these teams.
It always has bugged me that, like, for baseball, they call it the World Series when it doesn't involve the entire world, and
I would have called it like the National Series.
Like when they call professional teams the World Champion, when it does. Yes, there are players in the league from around the world, but the team itself is not. The teams themselves are located primarily in North America, so
it's just. This isn't like FIFA. This isn't soccer, as Americans call it. Well, we call it football here because, you know, you're kicking the ball with your foot. It makes fucking sense. It's soccer, as Americans call it. That's a worldwide game, and that's different. That works for whatever reason because you have the World Cup, and that's the only time.
I think it works is because there's soccer leagues around the world. Because there's soccer leagues around the world, soccer doesn't necessarily need big ass stadiums to play in.
Exactly.
And
I was thinking, like, By the way, there's a shit ton of teams when I played Football Manager. Holy shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams.
And
There's a lot.
So you can have leagues throughout the world, and then you have the best from those leagues or whatever. You have international teams that all get together in one place, and then they play.
Yeah, and I just think if you take team, I mean, it'd be cool, I imagine, to see, NFL become an international thing. But to have, like, let's stick with the Jags here. You take the Jags and you move them to London, that's not really going to be good for the Jags or for the other teams that have to visit them. That's not really going to be. You need to start up separate leagues. And I know that the Canadians have their own, so you don't really have to worry about them. Although you treat it like a fucking joke. It's like, oh yeah, they were in the CFL. It's just like, well, how are you going to go international if you treat your international leagues like a fucking joke? I think it'd be a bad idea to take an already established team in America, regardless of their franchise money, and move them internationally. You just need to move them to a different place in America. That's the best thing. Or start up a new team in that area. Give them a new look, a new name. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see teams change names and places get new teams. I think we could still get new teams, or at least they'd be moved to different places and possibly change their names. Like, I mean, the Bucks, when you think about it, are still still kind of a new team, and when you think of the history, and Texans are still kind of a new team, the Titans are still kind of a new team. The old ones are still around, but I can see there still being new teams coming and going. That's really the only article that I can see any interest in. The Bucks have finally gotten rid of fucking Josh Freeman, apparently. Don't know what team he's gone to.
Vikings.
Oh, the Vikings?
Yeah, the Vikings have signed him.
Do you think he'll do better than Ponder?
Yes.
possibly.
I really don't understand this move personally because
I don't. Maybe it's the only hope the Vikings have until the draft. I don't know.
Well, it's just that out of all the positions that you sign of all of the positions, quarterback is the hardest to take someone from another team and then put them on another team because now they need time to understand the way the team works in terms of what their system is and how they're calling plays and such.
Yeah. I got a question for you, Rockton. I've been meaning to ask you this. Does your head coach get fired this year?
I hope he does. I really do.
Oh, man. Harsh.
Leslie Frazier is a complete dumbass. He's proven it. I keep hearing stories of how he's been very insistent about keeping Christian Ponder as the number one starter, and had said things like the Viking fans wouldn't be upset if Ponder started instead of Castle. And I'm like, you really think that? Ponder has not been able to prove anything. He had one good year, and it wasn't even that good of a year.
I don't know.
He has not proven to be a really capable quarterback. He locks eyes with his receiver. He panics under pressure. He doesn't make good decisions. He's not really a leader. He's a nice guy from everything I've heard. He's just not a very good quarterback. And everyone, Adrian Peterson has said it. A lot of people on the team have already expressed their desire for Frazier to go with Castle as their permanent starter from here on out. They like Castle. They think Castle gives them a better chance to win.
Uh,
If AP, your primary star in that team, is telling you this, you should start listening. But what found astonishing was that former Hall of Fame quarterback, Hall of Fame quarterback, former Viking Fran Tarkenton, was basically saying Frazier should start Castle.
and your
If
veteran
Fran Tarkenton is telling you to start Matt Castle, you need to do it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, when veterans start speaking out, you kind of need to do it. Because, you do. Because that's when it's just like, okay, this guy's an idiot. When veterans are having to say, it's just what you need to fucking do. It's not fucking rocket science, you know.
And I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm starting to think that I was wrong in thinking that Rick Spielman is telling Leslie Frazier to start Ponder. I think it's all on Frazier at this point, because otherwise, why would they sign Josh Freeman? Obviously, he's there for competition at the quarterback spot. The upper management is obviously not sold on Ponder, and Frazier is the only one who seems to be pulling for him at this point.
I don't know. Has he recovered from injury? Because it was all up in the air whether he was going to be started for week 6.
Apparently, he's ready to go.
Right.
That's what I hear, and he's now. I'm now hearing a report that he is not happy that he's basically being benched for this next game.
Oh, he's being benched for week 6.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, he is not playing this next week, even though, from what I'm hearing, he is ready to play.
Well, just because you're ready to play, it don't mean that you should. Okay. Sure. I'm sure Mark Sanchez goes out every week and says, I'm ready to play, coach. Don't mean Rex Ryan say, yeah, okay, buddy. No.
Oh, there is one other pertinent story. Adrian, I don't know if you heard about this, but Adrian Peterson's son died.
Oh, what a shame.
He basically was missed. The initial story was that he was missing a practice due to personal reasons, and then ended up finding out that this is very tragic and this is seriously screwed up. Let me try and find the story. Peterson's son dies.
No parent wants to.
The 2 year old son of Adrian Peterson died Friday in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, from injuries sustained during an alleged aggravated assault Wednesday.
Oh, what?
Police are not releasing the boy's name out of respect for the family, but Peterson's father, Nelson Peterson, told the St. Paul Pioneer Press the child as AP's son. Lincoln County State's Attorney Tom Woolman confirmed the death of the child, who had been in critical condition in a hospital with severe head injuries.
Somebody assaulted a fucking 2-year-old?
Yes, and apparently it was the boyfriend of the child's mother.
What a fucking scumbag.
That's a fucking scumbag. I hope he fucking rots in prison. That's fucking disgusting.
And Peterson will be playing. He is.
Oh, okay. Apparently the attacker is in jail. Fucking good.
Hope he stays there.
I hope he fucking stays there. I hope he rots in there.
Oh, I hope he gets fucking shanked or something.
You fucking assaulted the child. Do you know what? Like, he probably will do that. Ellie, do you know what they do to people that do shit like that to children in jail?
Yeah, they probably shank them.
Police have to go out of their way to protect those kind of people, because people they literally go out there and aim to kill those motherfuckers.
Yeah, there are bad people in jail, but even in jail there's like a line you don't cross. And when people
I usually think the line is you don't fuck with children.
Yeah, when you fuck with children, even in prison, they're like, we gotta get this motherfucker. You see it, like, it's not just a movie or TV. It's fucking like it's fucking code, and like they try and hide it from prisoners, because the moment prisoners find that shit out, they're gonna fucking form lynch mobs and shit. I hope that guy gets what he fucking deserves. You fucking okay. AP sleeps with your girlfriend. First of all, he's a fucking P, so I can see why this girlfriend was attracted to AP. It's fucking AP, famous football.
Maybe he had been in a relationship with her and they broke up. That we don't know.
We don't know the situation. We have no idea the situation. Maybe it's just a jealous ex. We have no idea. But this guy obviously saw some personal attack on him from AP. He doesn't go and do this man-to-man with AP. He doesn't solve his problem that way, no. Doesn't take it up with AP, doesn't take it up with the woman. He beats down a 2-year-old boy.
And now he's dead.
We don't really know what the situation... I don't think there's any reports on what the situation was, like what happened, like what caused this. Like,
I don't know. It's aggravated assault on a 2-year-old. AP could have literally gone up and put a gun to this guy's head, and it still wouldn't have said that, hey, you can go and beat up a 2-year-old. Nothing AP could have done to this guy would have warranted attacking a 2-year-old child.
It may not have been even AP that did any. AP may have not even done anything at all.
Or this woman, whatever. However, this guy was wronged, if he was wronged at all, nothing warrants it. Absolutely jack shit. The guy beat up a 2-year-old kid and caused this kid to die. There's absolutely nothing that warrants that, and I hope he rots in jail for it. I hope he I know the American justice system is fucked up, but, like, I'm sure if the chair was still around, I'd have fucking give him the chair. He murdered a 2-year-old. He murdered someone. Doesn't matter that it's... I mean, the fact that it's a child makes it worse, but he murdered somebody. Just get the fucking chair. Or lethal injection. Dude's fucking fucked up, and if he don't get prison, which he probably will, he'll at least get 20 years, at least. He's gonna get fucking beaten down the rest of his life, and he fucking deserves it. Dude's not gonna get a job, and he gets out. He fucking deserves it. So, the name of the... Actually, I won't give the name of the accused attacker. He doesn't deserve his name uttered. Fuck you, sir. You're 27 years old. If you do get prison, you'll at least be out at the age of 47, and that itself is a crime. Moving on from that sad news, condolences go out to AP. Obviously, no parent wants to.
And he is playing this week. I don't know how anyone does that. I guess. Being able to play a sport like this and being I can imagine it's easier to play such a complicated sport that requires you to devote so much of your mind to it, allows you to kind of escape any real life concerns you have.
Yeah,
but
he's gonna need.
Even so, I still don't know how you can do. I don't know how anyone can do next to anything after something like that.
You gotta take your mind off of things. It's one of those things where you literally you either give up on life or you gotta fight and keep going.
I'm just saying, like, I personally, I don't know how you do it without taking some time to yourself.
He should take some time to himself, yes, by all means. But I'm sure he was asked, do you want to play? Like, they'd have at least given him that fucking option. Do you want to play?
He has the entire locker room.
Like, the entire locker room. Somebody would have said, dude, you don't have to play if you don't want to. Somebody would have said that to him. It's like, you take the day off or whatever. You don't have to do this. Somebody would have told him that. And like somebody would have given him that option. If it wasn't the coach or the training staff, players, I'm sure would have backed his ass if they were like, he doesn't need to play. Like, because this is their franchise guy. They like, I'm sure they fucking care for him. They would have said. They would have spoke up if he didn't want to play. Somebody gave him that option, and I think this is just kind of his form of escaping from that. You know, everyone grieves in different ways. Everyone, like, some people do it head on, some people do it in private, and you know, some people they just try to live their lives. It's what AP's going through. Nobody knows because only parents that have lost their children know what he's going through, and however he deals with it, it's his own way. And yeah, condolences go out to you, AP, to the mother of the child, whoever she may be as well. Um, to anyone else, obviously, that had any investment in this child, whole family, any of his relatives, condolences go out. That's something you never want to hear. And I hope
no parent should bury their kid.
no parent should bury their child. Absolutely not.
It's a quote. The quote, yeah, and that's a quote straight out of. I remember that line from the first Lord of the Rings movie.
I mean, my father unfortunately had to do that to his daughter, and because she died of cancer. And
no, I didn't quote it from Lord of the Rings.
I know. I didn't say you did it. I'm just
facts from my family. The kid between my middle sister and me died stillborn. So, yeah.
No parent should ever have to go through that. It's extremely difficult.
It was fucked up.
It's fucked up shit, and especially the way they went. You don't want to know that your kid went that way. That's terrible. Yeah, condolences to UAP, and I hope you go on strong. And you know, if you do go in the game, you know, maybe he wants to take this as some kind of. Maybe this is like his way of like, you know what, I want to make my son proud. You know, I'm gonna win this game for him kind of mentality. That might be his mentality going into it. Is that he wants to win the game for his...
I don't know how like tightly knit the team is, but that team has to be a second family to him.
Yeah, that's like a second family to him, and I'm sure his mentality is like, I can do this for my son.
And then he's just like, do it for the game.
Do it for them.
And a lot of I've seen, there have been cases where just after something really tragic happens to a player, they have like the game of their careers.
Mm-hmm.
Like Brett Favre, after his dad died, played like the game of his life.
It's because they want to dedicate that game to the person that they lost, and I can imagine AP like I want to make my son proud. You know, win or lose, I want to make him proud. I want him look down and say my dad did fucking awesome today. You know. And I hope you do well, AP. I've never had a problem against you. You're a good player.
And he's a good guy.
And he's a good guy.
I've never heard anything negative about him.
Well, even if he was a bad guy, nobody deserves that.
Dude,
nobody.
That just makes me think that the ex was bitter.
It does sound like a bitter guy. And he went... I hope you enjoy prison, if you're listening to this. Really do.
They let you enjoy guys in prison, but yeah. Should we go to the scores?
We'll go to the games now. Last week. We'll start with last week, and we'll end with the Thursday night game that was this week, because that's been and gone. We'll start with the Buffalo Bills traveled to the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland for their third game after trading away Trent Richardson. Pick up the win.
They're doing a lot better than I thought they were.
Yeah, the Browns have a decent defense.
Yeah,
but the thing is,
I did not know that they had this. That their defense was this good. And here, another interesting thing about this game is that both quarterbacks went down in this game with knee injuries.
Yes, both of them did.
My other knee.
Yeah, they did. E.J. Manuel and Brandon Whedon.
No, Brian Hoyer.
Oh, Brian Hoyer, that was it. Hoyer.
Yeah, and then Brandon Whedon got the chance to play again, and played one of his best games. He basically came out there and said, "Don't sleep on me just yet." He basically played this game like he had something to prove.
Did you see the freaking the shot that Hoyer took though?
No, I haven't.
Of course, it's on the highlights, dude. You watch the highlights, you'll see it. He takes a fucking clobber in and just it's not pretty. It's not pretty.
I wonder where the highlights are.
And if you go to the game center, you'll see all the highlights. It's on a video. I've got no sound on that, so I'm lucky, and ad blocker, so I don't have to go through the ads either. But yeah, he took a fucking shot, and it was not a pretty one.
Yeah, I just got ad blocker, so
yeah, it's like one of the first highlights is what happened to Hoyer. Stats: EJ Manuel, 11 completions for 20 attempts, 129 yards, 0 touchdowns. CJ Spiller, 8 carries for 66 yards.
Is it EJ Manuel goes down?
No, because it was a Cleveland Brown that went down. And,
no, EJ Manuel went down too.
I know EJ Manuel went down, but it's the Hoyer one that I'm on about that looked fucking nasty.
I can't find it.
He's number 6 if you need to know.
I think they're showing it. I think they're showing it right now.
You'll see it in slow-mo as well. It's not nice. It's around about the 22nd, like mid-20s mark.
Okay.
Okay, that did not... Oh!
Is it 5 Bills versus Brown?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Bills versus Brown. When you see it in slow motion, you realize how bad of a hit that was.
Like, he got like hit in his head. It didn't look like his leg. It looked like his head.
Yeah, he's kind of like collapsing down on his knees, and as he's doing this big motherfucker comes rushing at him and just clobbers him straight in the head. Not like when you see it at normal speed, don't look that bad, but then you see it in slow motion, and you're like, oh, that looks bad. And the EJ Manuel one didn't look nice either. They didn't look pretty. They both took fucking nasty shots. Brandon Wheaton.
I'm seeing the EJ Manuel one. That did not look good.
Brandon,
right in the leg.
Yeah, right in the leg. That looked like it was unnecessary roughness as well, because it looked like EJ crossed the fucking boundaries. That looked like it was unnecessary roughness. Brandon Wheaton.
Like, isn't he just fucking run? Did he just run him over?
Yeah, pretty much. Brandon Wheaton, 13 for 24, 197 yards, 1 touchdown. Willis McGahee, 26 carries for 72 yards, a 2.8 yards per carry average. Their running game is shit. 1 touchdown.
And this is the guy they just picked up to replace Fred.
Let's go to receiving. Receiving for the Buffalo Bills, Robert Woods, 5 receptions for 64 yards. That's a 12.8 yard average. And Scott Chandler, that's 4 for 49 yards, 12.2 average. On the Cleveland Browns side, Josh Gordon, 4 receptions for 86 yards, that's 21.5 average. He also got 1 touchdown. And Greg Little, 3 for 71 yards, 23.7 average. Box score for this one, Buffalo got 10 in the first, Cleveland got nothing. In the second, Cleveland got 17, Buffalo got nothing. Cleveland gets 7 in the third, Buffalo gets 14, and then Cleveland gets 13 in the final quarter and gets the game, wins the game.
It was surprisingly not a bad game.
I actually switched my pick because I originally had the Bills picked, and I was basically listening to Lord Cat Turducken is tasty, and like listening to the guys, and basically they had some really good reasons for why the Browns were going to win this, so that's why I picked.
I just didn't believe in it, because I heard people like, oh, our defense is good, no, we've been getting better since we got rid of Trent. I'm like, you're still fucking Browns. No, you're going to lose. And no, they won. So I need to believe in the Browns a little bit more, at least.
Yeah, apparently, Browns have clearly become one of those teams you cannot underestimate anymore. You cannot take them that seriously.
So we'll go to this game. And the thing I wanted to happen finally fucking happened.
In the weirdest possible way, though, and into a team that you didn't, and the team that beat them is a team that no one, I don't think anyone in the world expected to beat them. or at least not. Well, maybe a few could saw it coming, but I don't think anyone really saw the game turning out this way. It was.
I saw the Patriots getting the kick in the ass happening. It was when and what team, and I had predicted it for many weeks straight, and then it looked like they got their head out of their ass, and I thought, okay, maybe I was wrong. Patriots are going to go into Cincinnati and win against the Bengals. And then Tom Brady proceeds to have one of the worst games ever.
And it's really not his fault. It really isn't. His receivers just suck. They just flat out. I mean, and for especially in this game, his receivers were just not doing anything.
Amendola.
They were dropping passes left and right. They could not hold on to the ball. Tom Brady was doing his goddamn best to get anything going. He just couldn't do it because his receivers were not helping him. His O-line was letting the Bengals defense through, a Bengals team that had previously just lost to the Browns, who don't have a running game.
And I just want to say this to you, Patriots. You brought this upon yourselves.
Yeah, they kind of did.
You did. I'm sorry. You didn't take teams seriously. You were overconfident as fuck. You thought when you went against the Jets, we don't need to practice. We're the New England Patriots. You were the cocky fucking heels, and the Bengals came and showed you up.
But honestly, I remember falling asleep to this game because this
game was so boring. The New England Patriots
was bad.
It was. Like, the Bengals, they won, but they didn't do too pretty either. I mean, it was 6-13, for God's sakes.
Yeah,
Bengals
means not much was happening the entire game.
Patriots could only get 2 field goals, okay? That was it for Patriots. A field goal in the second and a field goal in the last quarter. That was it for them. Let's look at the stats here. What is one of Tom Brady's worst...
Before we go into the stats, I wanted to just mention, okay, Tom Brady did get sacked 4 times. I mean, Tom Brady is capable from coming back from sacks. He's not the type of guy to go, oh shit, I'm getting sacked, I'm going to start panicking. That's not Tom Brady.
That's not Tom Brady, no.
But you could definitely see him starting to get frustrated. He did get an interception.
Yes, he did.
And I think the one thing that just I don't think anyone saw this happening. Brady had before this game had a 52 straight game streak of throwing a touchdown, and this is the game he fails.
Yeah, this is an interesting. This is an interesting stat right here. This is the first time the Patriots have been held out of the end zone since 2009.
Damn, that's a long time.
They've been able to punch it into the end zone until now, since 2009. The last time that they were held out of the end zone was 2009, and that was against the Jets.
Find these articles.
It's in the Game Center.
Oh.
It's in the little summary of the game at the very bottom. I'll read it to you. Brady had thrown a touchdown pass in 52 straight games, second longest in NFL history behind Drew Brees. The Patriots were held out of the end zone for the first time since the 16-9 loss to the Jets on September 20th, 2009.
That is just a poor fucking showing. Like, I don't want to talk shit about the Bengals, but you lost to the Bengals. That is the C team.
And this is the team, by the way, that put a 1 in your undefeated record. This is the team that put 1 on your loss column. Tom Brady, this is one of his worst games. 18 completions for 38 attempts.
Good.
197 yards.
Oh, he's got all right yardage, but still, what the fuck?
197 yards for Tom Brady is not good yardage.
Well,
So he has actually been doing pretty bad in completion percentage overall because of his receiving core. But at least the past couple games he was averaging at least 60. This game, 47.
that is a shit quarterback rating.
It's a bad day for Tom Brady.
guess-
No, that's not his quarterback rating. That's his completion percentage.
Oh, completion.
I'm not gonna talk about the quarterback rating anymore because I understand that higher is good, but I don't understand how it works.
I don't understand.
Even though I don't know how they figure out the percentage.
It's a combination of all his stats put into a number, pretty much.
Oh,
Pretty much the rule is anything over 80 is pretty good.
Yeah, anything over it is pretty good.
His quarterback rating. I wonder if this is like his record lowest, 52.2.
Oh my god.
That is a bad number, whatever it is.
He had a bad fucking day, guys. He really did. Rushing. The rushing game was non-existent. LeGarrette Blount, 12 carries for 51 yards. That's a 4.2 average. Who's this guy here? I don't know who this guy is. Let me just find out what his first name is.
Brandon Bolden.
Brandon Bolden. Thank you. I don't know.
You can just click on their name and it'll.
Oh, Brandon Bolden. There we go. 5 carries for 24 yards. That's a 4.8 average.
Where was Devon Ridley? Why didn't they use him?
I don't know. Danny Amendola had a bad receiving game. Amendola, of all people. 4 receptions for 55 yards. That's a 13.8 average. And
4 times.
Yeah, he got it 4 times. But usually 4 times, 55 yards for Amendola. I'm expecting a lot better from Amendola. Aaron Dobson.
100.
Yeah. Aaron Dobson, 2 receptions for 49 yards. That's 24.5, but he received it twice. So, yeah.
I think it would be more interesting to find out, like how many times he was targeted.
Yeah, exactly.
Like how many times they threw to him and he missed.
They don't tell you that, though, sadly. Andy Dalton, 20 completions for 27 attempts. He had a good completion rating. 212 yards. Rushing, Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, 19 carries for 67 yards, a 3.5 average, 1 touchdown.
That sounds like he threw a lot of short passes.
Mm-hmm. Gio Bernard, 13 carries for 62 yards, 4.8 average, 0 touchdowns. On receiving, AJ Green, 5 receptions for 61 yards, 12.2 average.
That's not. I always hear about how good AJ Green is, and he didn't have it, and apparently did not show much here.
Oh, this last name is going to be a bit short. It's Tyler Eifert? Eifert?
I don't know.
Freaked. No.
Eifert? E-I-F-E-R-T. Eifert? I don't know. And Tyler Eifert. 5 receptions for 53 yards, 10.6 average. Yeah. Moving on to another team that got fucking shown up. The Detroit Lions traveled to Green Bay Lambeau Field, and they lost 9-22.
I kind of expected that.
Yeah, me too.
I expected the Packers to win, but I expected more. I did not. I expected a higher margin of score. Honestly, this was another game that seemed really very, very slow.
Defense like?
Yeah, to be fair, the Lions are doing better this year. They're not great, but they're doing better.
They're still inconsistent as fuck.
This isn't a playoff team in my eyes, but they're doing better.
Matt Stafford is one of those quarterbacks that can throw for a lot of yards, and he has a good receiving core to throw to.
Oh hell yeah, he does. Let's go into the stats here. Yeah, Matt Stafford, 25 completions for 40 attempts, 262 yards, 1 touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, 20 completions for 30 attempts, 274 yards, 1 touchdown. Rushing.
Either.
I think that's the biggest problem is for the stats he had. For those type of stats, you expect to like maybe maybe 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, or maybe the Lions.
That
I mean,
sounds like they got it downfield, but they couldn't get it done.
yeah, Lions defense, I think, deserves more
In
credit.
fact, for this, the score is actually not as big. Is not as impressive as it might sound because most of the scores came off of field goals. Mason Crosby kicked 5 of them.
Good God! So they just ran it down, kicked it, and then tried to do it again and again.
Interesting stat for this game, actually, guys. Apparently, this win against the Lions is the 23rd time in a row that the Packers have beaten the Lions in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I can believe that.
It's apparently they have a winning streak in Wisconsin over the Lions.
In Lambeau Field.
Lambeau Field.
But yeah, I expected this, but I think the Packers.
You thought it'd be a stumping?
Well, I didn't expect it to be a stomping. I just expected from the offensive. When you look at the offensive numbers Aaron Rodgers is putting out, you expected them reach the end zone more.
Mm-hmm.
I would expect more of like a game of like say a 30 like a score of maybe 30 or 28 or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, I would just definitely expect more touchdowns instead of tons of field goals. The Packers are going to have a hard time winning against opponents if they're only able to get field goals.
This is true. Moving on to the next game.
Another thing is that the Lions were without their star receiver, Calvin Megatron Johnson. He was out with a knee injury.
Megatron was out with a knee. Exactly. The best nickname ever, by the way.
Megatron.
Yes, Megatron. So, yes, well, other than the nickname we've come up with for Sam Bullwinkle Bradford.
And Ben rapes a lot.
And Ben rapes a lot.
And Rapelberger. No.
Rapelberger.
The then undefeated Seahawks traveled to the Indianapolis Colts, and they put a 1 up in that last column as the Colts beat the Seahawks 34-28. I predicted this.
I predicted this too, because Seahawks aren't your A-rated team. They're doing very well this year, but I don't think they're going to go undefeated this long.
They're doing well at home. For whatever reason, their defense doesn't work on the road. It only works at home, and I don't know why.
Fuck, the crowd's loud, dude. You think
That's
that fuck up communication?
Yeah. Well, this wasn't at home though.
It wasn't at home, no.
And yeah, it's been. This is what people were.
They scored.
Have been saying is that the Seahawks just don't travel.
Can I just also say, Andrew Luck is an amazing quarterback. The dude, they were behind. Okay, they were behind. First quarter, Seattle Seahawks 12, Indianapolis Colts 7. Second quarter, Seattle Seahawks 7, Indianapolis Colts 10. Third quarter, Seattle 9, Indianapolis 6. And then in the fourth quarter, so they were ahead, I think, let me just see. So in the third quarter, they had 28, and Indianapolis in the third quarter had 23. So it's 28-23 in the third quarter. Andrew Luck in the fourth quarter comes out and just leads the team in a clutch comeback, gets 11 points and wins the game.
He basically got a fourth quarter touchdown, and then they sealed it with a 2-point conversion pass and a late field goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. In the fourth quarter, he's just he's clutch. He's Who is that famous San Francisco quarterback that I should know the name of?
Joe Montana?
Joe Montana. He reminds me of Joe Montana. And that's
Wait, we're behind?
the
Fuck that!
the last quarter comeback. That's what Joe Montana was famous for. The clutch quarterback moments. Russell Wilson, the Seahawks, 15 completions for 31 attempts, 210 yards, 2 touchdowns. Andrew Luck, 16 completions for 29 attempts, 229 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rushing, Marshawn Lynch, 17 carries for 102 yards, 6 yards per carry. Russell Wilson, 13 carries for 102 yards, 7.8 yards per carry. And that's the quarterback, by the way, folks.
Russell Wilson is actually starting to getting into his running game, and he's tearing fools up.
This was Luck's 9th career fourth quarter comeback, by the way. Andrew Luck, 6.
That's pretty good for a young quarterback.
Yeah, his 9th career fourth quarter comeback. Trent Richardson.
I thought you just said it was his 4th. It's his 9th. Damn.
Yeah, his 9th career.
That's really good for a young quarterback.
His 9th career fourth quarter comeback.
Wow, he already has 9. That's something.
Yeah. Next, fucking Joe Montana, dude. If all things go well for him. Trent Richardson, 18 carries for 56 yards, 3.1 average, and excuse me there for a moment, I got tongue twisted. Donald Brown, 6 carries for 37 yards, 6.2 average, 1 touchdown. I'll go into receiving. Yeah, it was a good day for Andrew Luck and the Colts. He managed to get a fourth quarter comeback, his 9th career comeback. Good for him. Somebody I wish would have had a fourth quarter comeback. The Miami Dolphins. Baltimore Ravens traveled to Miami in what I predicted would be a close game. And I actually think I did predict that it would be by a field goal. Ravens traveled to Dolphins and did indeed win by a field goal, 26-23.
This
was a close game.
Yeah.
Very, very close game. Box score. Let me just give you the box score here. Both of them get a field goal in the first quarter. Baltimore gets a field goal in the second. Miami gets 10 points. Baltimore gets 10 points in the third. Miami gets nothing. Both of them get 10 points in the fourth quarter. Let's look at the stats here for both of these quarterbacks. Joey Flacco, his completions weren't that good. 19 completions for 32 attempts, 269 yards, 0 touchdowns. Ryan Tannehill, 21 completions for 40 attempts, 307 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yeah, so Joe Flacco had a percentage rate of 59.4. His rating is better than his quarterback percentage at 73, so just under 80. And Tannehill, let's see what it says here. His percentage is 52.5, a quarterback rating of 86.1.
Yeah, Tannehill had a decent day. Lamar Miller, however, why did we pick this guy up, Dolphins?
Okay, so the absolute perfect QB rating is 158.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't know why. Why did we get Lamar Miller, Miami? This guy is terrible. 7 carries for 15 yards, a yard per carry average of 2.1.
What happened to that one? What was that running back you guys had that Miami had last year?
We had Reggie Bush.
Did we? Did you? I thought...
Yeah, we had Reggie Bush. We traded him to Detroit, and we picked up Lamar Miller, I think, in the draft.
Why in the hell did they get rid of Reggie? I think, as I understand it, he had injury problems. But wow,
He had injury problems. He wasn't performing well, and yeah.
Okay, this quote makes the most sense.
Let's see this quote.
A perfect rating requires at least a 77.5% completion rate, at least 12.5 yards per attempt, a touchdown at least 11.875% of attempts, and no interceptions.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they kind of hold it to that standard, I guess.
Right. Yeah, Lamar Miller had a terrible game. Don't know why we picked him up. Yeah. He came so close, Dolphins, but you got a bye week this week, so hopefully you'll come back nice and strong.
Maybe.
We move on to the New Orleans Saints traveling to the Chicago Bears, and they won 26-18. They keep the undefeated streak alive.
Not bad.
Not a bad game. Drew Brees had a decent game. 29 completions for 35 attempts, 288 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jay Cutler, 24 for 33, 358, 2 touchdowns. Pierre Thomas, 19 carries for 36 yards, 1.9 carry average for Pierre Thomas.
Yeah, they really need a running game.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know why they're not using Darren's. I don't understand why they have Darren Sproles as more of a receiver than their runner.
I don't know. He's a receiving running back. Don't know why. Matt Forte, 12 for 55, 4.6. Jimmy Graham, 10 for 135, 13.5. Excuse me. Frog in my throat. And, oh God, Alshon Jeffrey, 10 receptions for 218 yards, 21.8 average, 1 touchdown. I feel so sorry for this next team.
Hang on a second. I wanted to mention something that it says here. New Orleans actually picked up its first win in Chicago since October 8th of 2000.
Wow. I did not know that.
So they had gone winless in Soldier Field for 13 years.
That's an interesting fact. Well, good to know that they finally.
Breeze had been winless until against the Bears until now.
Well, Soldier Field does do weird things to good teams, but at least he managed to do it this time. Good for him. A team that's not managed to do it, and I question will they ever manage to do it, the New York Giants. Philadelphia Eagles travel to New York Giants, and they win 36-21, although Michael Vick gets injured in this game.
Yep. It was bound to happen inevitably.
Inevitably, he gets injured. Some kind of leg or ankle injury, I believe. As far as I'm aware.
Is he just to the point where
it's a hamstring.
It's a hamstring,
It's not like Rey Mysterio. No.
Vic, you just can't run anymore, Vic. You need to pass. You need to pass. Whereas Eli Manning...
That's probably what got him injured, because he was rushing.
Yeah, he was rushing when he got injured. Whereas Eli Manning, right now, you wish you could do anything but pass, but your running backs are terrible. Brandon Jacobs, 11 carries for 37 yards, a 3.4.
Brandon Jacobs, what happened to you?
3.4 yard per carry average. David Wilson, 6 carries for 16 yards, 2.7 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. Eli
Manning's his game here does not look that bad.
His game doesn't look
except he did throw for another 3 interceptions.
Exactly. He has to throw the ball because the running game sucks. Problem being, the offensive line gives him about 2 seconds to throw the ball. So he's throwing a lot of interceptions. I don't care how good you are, you get 2 seconds to throw a ball, you're going to be throwing a lot of interceptions. Eli is doing everything he can, and the rest of his team, really. His offensive line is at fault here. Nothing is going right with this team. Like, Tom Coughlin is, just weeping at this point. It's... I don't see the Giants going winless. I don't. But...
They pretty much need a team coming up that they need to ease an I don't know what the rest of their schedule is, but they're probably looking for that, like a team on their schedule that's easy to beat at this point. That's what they're that's where the win is going to come. That's where the wins are coming, is when they get like easier games on their schedule.
Kansas City Chiefs continuing to show us what they're made of as they go 5-0. They travel. They travel to the Texans and they win 26-17.
You mean the Titans?
They don't seem to win by a lot.
They travel to Tennessee.
Yes, the Titans.
They don't seem to win by a lot, but they seem to, usually win.
Yeah, they don't win by a lot, but they win, and that's the main thing.
It doesn't matter how many points you score. If you win, you win.
You win.
Actually, right now, statistically, the Kansas City Chiefs have one of the best defenses in the NFL. If not, I think they might actually be tops in the NFL.
Yeah, they intercepted Fitzpatrick twice in the final minutes 14 of the game. How many was it? Only 2 interceptions that they got on Fitz, or did they get more?
Let me see if I can. Let me see. He got 2 interceptions.
Yeah, 2 interceptions. Jamal Charles ran a lot in this game, guys. He got handed the ball 22 times. He ran 108 yards, 4.9 yards per carry average, 1 touchdown.
Yeah, Jamal Charles is a great running back.
Great running back. But you see, with stats like that, I expect a 4.9 with 108 yards at 22 carry. That makes sense to get a 4.9. That's not bad. That's 4 or 5 yards per carry. That's not bad. That's a good running back. Quarterback ratings: Alex Smith, 20 completions for 39 attempts, 245 yards. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 21 completions for 41 attempts, 247 yards, 1 touchdown, and of course, 2 INTs.
Alex Smith did throw a pick here, actually.
Alex Smith did throw one, but still, to say how he's been doing the rest of the season, 1 pick ain't bad. 1 pick is not bad. How he's been doing the rest of the season, he's been on target pretty much all the fucking time.
His percentage here, the stat line looks better than it actually is. His completion percentage has actually been dropping. It started at 60 and has dropped to the low 50s now.
That might just be against the defenses that he's facing. I don't know. Well, he's still getting the job done, so nothing to complain about.
Well, this is the Titans, though.
I don't know.
I don't think the Titans have a very good defense, as far as I know.
As far as I know, they don't, but I don't watch the Titans, so I wouldn't know. Moving on, anyway, to the saddest team in the league. The Jacksonville Jaguars traveled to the St. Louis Rams. The only team I said that I could see them beating, and I still picked the Rams, by the way, even though I said I could see the Jags beating them. And they...
Lo and behold, they lost. Again.
They lost. Holy shit, they lost. 20
They scored more than 3 points.
20... Dude, the Jags have yet to score... I don't think they've yet to score 28 points.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, give them credit. They at least put up some more points than they usually do.
Well,
Usually do.
This is the Rams, though.
This is the Rams. Blaine Gabbert. 9 completions for 19 attempts, 181 yards, 1 touchdown. He barely threw the ball in this one, guys.
That's because he actually injured his hamstring in the third quarter.
Oh, he did he? Okay. Why is it not giving me the stats for the guy for Henny then? That's weird. Bullwinkle, he had 19 completions for 34 attempts, 222 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Bullwinkle had a decent game. Hey, Bullwinkle. Maurice Jones-Drew. What a waste.
Bullwinkle must have been working with Rocky in the meet.
Maurice Jones-Drew. Maurice Jones-Drew. What a waste of money. 17 carries for 70 yards. That's a 4.1 average.
I still think it's probably not his fault. It's that this team has no offensive line.
Zach Stacy.
I think if you put Maurice Jones-Drew on a better team, he might have better. He might produce better. It still remains to be seen, but I think at least give him a shot.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
the rookie Zach Stacy had a good fucking game. 14 carries. This is on St. Louis Rams, by the way. The rookie Zach Stacy. 14 carries for 78 yards, 5.6 yards per carry. It's a rookie. Receiving Justin Blackmon, 5 receptions for 136 yards, 27.
Blackmon.
Justin Blackmon.
I am the Blackmon.
Justin Blackmon, 5 receptions for 136 yards, 27.2 average, 1 touchdown. Cecil Shorts, 5 receptions for 74 yards, 14.8 yards average, 1 touchdown.
It's like a Jamaican saying Barack Hussein Obama is a black man.
Austin Petty, 4 receptions for 49 yards, 12.2 average, 2 touchdowns, and Brian Quick, 2 receptions for 45 yards, 22.5 average. I say the Jags are going winless this season.
Yep.
I'm calling it right now. The Jags are going winless this season.
I think we've already called them going winless.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it'd be this bad, though.
I didn't think it'd be this bad. Yeah. But it is. They're terrible. And I would say this team is going to go winless, except they actually have won a game, surprisingly. The Carolina Panthers traveled to the Arizona Cardinals and lost 6-22.
Just
when you think things change, it goes back to normal.
I could have sworn. I think I actually picked the Panthers because I didn't. I thought I didn't think the Cardinals were that good, and I thought the Panthers were better at scoring points. But
I think it was just because the Cardinals were at home, dude. Really, honestly, I just think.
Apparently, the Cardinals D is actually pretty decent as or at least decent enough to throw Cam.
It was the Panthers.
They threw Cam now. Holy crap! They got to Cam Newton 7 times.
7 sacks, yeah.
Once for a safety, and they picked him off 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, they were all over him.
They were all over Cam Newton, even though his stats would say otherwise. You'd think that they weren't. 21 completions for 39 attempts, 308 yards, but he got hit 7 times, 3 picks.
So basically, he got a lot of yards, but they could basically never really sustain a drive long enough to get in position for a real score.
Pretty much.
They had to settle for field goals twice.
They had to settle for 2 field goals, and that was it, yes. Moving on from that misery of a game. What's next? Hold on. For some reason, the games have disappeared on me. That is very strange. I don't know why it's done that. There we go. We'll go back to where we were. And we've just done the Panthers versus the Cardinals. Okay. So, the Denver Broncos traveled to the Dallas Cowboys. And they won 51-48.
That's just I'm just probably like, but yeah, you can go. But the score is ridiculous.
That's fucking crazy.
Tony Romo had the best game of his fucking career. And he still lost. Tony Romo, 25 completions for 36 attempts.
And
five
touchdowns.
Five touchdowns.
Here's the one problem. It's Tony. It's one of those things like Tony Romo can put on great numbers, but he's not a leader. He's not a clutch quarterback. He has failed. He has failed in playoff when it comes to big games like playoffs. He is like a 1-3 record. He had put up great numbers. Unfortunately, at the end of the game, he gets picked off.
Tony Blomo.
There was actually, you know what was hilarious? What astonished me? There was actually someone who wrote an article saying that Tony Romo was better than Hall of Famer Cowboy quarterback Troy Aikman. I'm like, are you serious?
Really? How many Super Bowl rings does Tony Romo have, article writer? How many does Troy Aikman have? Yeah.
Exactly. They were basically saying that Romo's numbers are better, technically. But numbers.
Why is it? No, hold on.
You know what?
Why is it?
You know what? Why is it? Our numbers don't mean jack shit when you can't win a playoff game. When you blow it in crucial when you clearly blow it with situations. When Romo has numerous times thrown his own players under the bus, which Troy Aikman has never fucking done.
I can just tell you this right now. He wouldn't be the first one. It's such a cheap argument, Rocktown, when you've got a quarterback that hasn't won a Super Bowl, that blows the playoffs every year, that blows games for you. The first thing they're going to do when it comes to an argument, point straight at the stats. Look at his numbers. Look at Tony Romo's numbers. We've got an elite quarterback. And it's like, he hasn't won you a Super Bowl.
And even though Troy Aikman's regular season numbers are not as good as Romo's, his postseason are phenomenal. His in clutch in the games that mattered, Troy Aikman was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Romo. You are not better than Troy Aikman. You're Tony Blomo. Everyone knows that. You suck. Sorry. You had a good game, best game of your career, and you still fucked up. Just saying, you still fucked up.
I've heard people say that, like, and I almost would be inclined to agree that the guy cares more about his golf game than being a good quarterback.
I gotta believe that too, man. It's just you gotta.
Well, speaking about golf, apparently this team here thought they were playing golf when they came and faced the 49ers. They thought the lowest.
I wanted to say though about that Denver. Let's go back to that game because what the hell happened to Denver's defense?
They didn't show up. Neither of the defenses show up.
I don't get that at all.
Dude, their defense sucks. The only reason they've been winning games is because of the offense.
They got.
I don't think the defense has ever been. I don't think the defense has been that bad. And the defense has actually looked fairly decent. It's just this game that they just started. That the Cowboys were able to rack up ridiculous amounts of points and numbers and everything.
As I was saying,
it was just a pass off.
Now, as I was saying, speaking of a team that thought they were playing golf and that the lowest score would win, apparently the Houston Texans thought like that when they went up against the San Francisco 49ers and only managed to put up a field goal.
Wow.
Yep.
Houston Texans 3, San Francisco 49ers 34.
Holy,
Interesting stat.
what the hell happened to them?
Interesting stat for Matt Schwab. In this game,
It's Schwab. It's
Schwab, whatever. In this game, it was the
Schwab.
whatever. In this game, it was the fourth consecutive game where he threw an interception that was returned for a touchdown.
The very first pass.
Very first pass.
For a touchdown.
Returned for a touchdown. Fourth consecutive game, he threw an interception for a touchdown. Fourth consecutive game, 4 times in a row.
I thought Matt Schaub was better than this. I think he may be just having an off year, or maybe he's just not as good as people thought he was.
Or it could just
I'm
be
sorry.
age.
My football simulator randomizes names, and I'm playing as the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Titans, and their running back has been renamed to Bill Troglodyte.
Matt Schwab, 19 completions for 35 attempts, 173 yards. I just think it's age. The dude's getting on in years. He's old. He can't fucking throw a ball anymore. That's just happens sometimes to a quarterback.
I don't think
He
he's not old. He's okay. I guess he is older than I thought. He's 32. Never mind.
He's getting old for
football.
He's getting old and for football, you know, and he might just not be able to throw it anymore. Kaepernick didn't have a good game either, actually. 6 completions for 15 attempts. He barely threw it in this game. 113 yards, 1 touchdown.
This was a case of just the fact that this was more a case that the 49ers didn't really need to do anything because Matt Schaub kept throwing picks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Matt Schaub fucked up the game for everybody.
Wow.
The 49ers defense won this game for the 49ers, basically. They scored in every quarter. 14 in the first, 7 in the second. Houston finally got a field goal in the third, as well as San Francisco. And then San Fran got 10 in the fourth.
This game was so bad for Matt Schaub, he actually got replaced in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They benched him.
That is a bad game.
It's a bad fucking game. That would have been boring as fuck to watch.
Yep.
And then we'll move on to this game. I just want to say right now, I'm genius of the fucking year. I said that the Chargers were going to walk into Oakland and they were going to lose. I said the Chargers are an inconsistent team that like to shit the bed. And that's exactly what they did.
Shit that bed.
They shit that bed. When everyone else started believing in the Chargers, I realized that this is the same team that last year, with the help of Stickum, kept dropping passes. I knew this team was going to fuck up, and they fucked up against Oakland, just as I predicted. San Diego.
I haven't started. I never really have believed in the Chargers necessarily, but I thought they were good enough to beat Oakland.
Well, I don't know shit about either of them.
No, neither do I. I just thought they were gonna fuck up.
I just guessed.
I just thought the Chargers were gonna fuck up because it's usually what they do.
And they fucked up.
And they fucked up. So yay. Moving on.
By the way, aging cornerback Charles Woodson tied an NFL record with his 13th defensive touchdown.
Good for him. We'll move on to the Monday night football game. The New York Jets traveled to
everyone was predicting this game would be bad. It ended up being really, really good.
New York Jets traveled to Atlanta Falcons, won 30-28.
And this is, I didn't. I
It
knew
was worth
I knew
Monday Night
Atlanta's
Football.
defense was bad. I just did not know it was this bad.
By the way, guys, this picture. What kind of football team player is that?
David Scully, Larry Hitler, Kevin Urkilla.
Larry Hitler.
Larry Hitler. Yeah. And we'll finish off with before the picks for this week.
Well, hang on. I want to say just I mean, Matt Ryan did make a comeback, and it's just that his defense couldn't hold. This Atlanta defense is in shambles.
Mm-hmm.
It is just a joke, and apparently, and could not hold on, could not help Matt Ryan hold on the lead. Matt Ryan did a good job. It's just his defense couldn't help him. And this is Matt Ryan, who's known. His nickname is Matty Ice because he is. I guess his defense has always been bad. Always been bad because he's had to come back in games 22 times.
Good lord.
That's why they nicknamed him Matty Ice, is because he's just fucking clutch in the fourth quarter.
Also, that's a terrible beer.
The Thursday night football game for this week was the New York Giants traveling to the Chicago Bears, and the New York Giants walk away 0-6.
And they fought. They were at least. They went down fighting.
They went down fighting, but they still went down. If I told you the beginning of this season that at this point the Giants would be 0-6, you would have laughed in my face.
Yeah, I kind of would. I thought they had more to them than that.
I thought they had so much more to them than this. They've just fucked up on all fronts, and the Bears took advantage, as every other team has, and they won. Nothing more to say about that game. I'm just kind of depressed for the Giants. And for Eli. Tom Coughlin is probably either going to retire or lose his job this year. Just saying that right now. We'll go to the predictions for Sunday Night Football. The Carolina Panthers traveled to the Minnesota Vikings. Roxanne, because this is your favorite team, I'll let you pick first.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Vikings. They made the right decision here. They're putting Castle in as starter. They have, I think, the Panthers can definitely score points, but they're not. They're just not. I think they're honestly the worst team here with the 1-3 record. The Vikings are, I think, superior.
They
here.
are quite people away.
Adrian, and Adrian Peterson is coming into this game after just losing his son, as we've seen. Great players will have great games after tragic circumstances. AP is going to run all over the fucking.
I think that he's going to kick some Panther ass. So.
And he's probably going to do it for his son.
He's going to dress up like a Viking and scare all the little kittens.
Yeah, I predict the Vikings. They've done the first smart fucking thing all fucking season and benched fucking Ponder. It took 4 fucking games, but they did it. Took 4 games for them to realize they kind of need to bench this guy, but they did it.
As long as they did it.
You got the Vikings as well, Ellie?
Yeah, I think they can do it.
Okay. The 2-3 Philadelphia Eagles travel to the 0-4 Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers are now reduced to playing with a completely unknown rookie quarterback that no one's ever heard of. There's literally no news of like that. I've never heard anything as far as, oh, this kid he's a great quarterback. Nobody knows who this guy is. That should tell you that he's just there. He's a backup to be a backup. He can't be much of anything else. The Bucks are going to lose. He can't do anything. He's not going to do anything for them.
Are you not taking into
so far?
Hold on,
so far it hasn't.
Hold on, Roxanne. Michael Vick is injured.
Yes, but they do still have Nick Foles. Nick Foles is not that bad. Nick Foles is he's not Michael Vick, but he's definitely I will say this about Nick Foles is he's a much better pocket passer, way better than Michael Vick.
Fair enough.
Michael Vick has never been a pocket passer ever. He's a mobile quarterback.
Oh, fair enough. Ali, who you got in this?
What?
Who have you got in this?
Got in what game?
Eagles versus Bucks.
I went with the Eagles.
Okay. I've also got the Eagles. Moving on.
Bucks are kind of bad.
Yeah. The 2-3 Oakland Raiders travel to the 5-0 Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Moving on.
Like I said, this is gotta be some of the easiest sets of picks.
Some of the easiest sets of picks. Well, you might disagree with one pick that I've got. The 0-4 Pittsburgh Steelers travel to the New York Jets.
Jets. The Steelers are in complete disarray. The Jets have a defense that can sack Ben because he has no offensive line. Geno Smith has actually been showing that he's a massive improvement over Mark Sanchez. Yeah, the Jets will win this. I don't see them losing against the Steelers.
Okay, Steelers. You've got the Jets. Sorry, Ali, who have you got? Jets. Okay, no, I've got the Jets too. Well, yeah. Easy picks this week, as you said, Roxanne. St. Louis Rams travel to the Houston Texans.
The Texans should win this. The Rams just got beat by the
Rams didn't get beat; they won.
Oh, that's right. But they won against the Jaguars. And the Jaguars still put up 20 points. The Texans should. I think the Texans, as bad as they've looked, should be able to beat the Rams. I just don't. I think the Texans are coming in really desperate to show that they're better than they've played.
Yeah, especially after only putting up 3 points against the Niners last week.
Allie, have you got the Texans?
Yeah.
I guess you can call this my crazy pick of the week then, because I'm picking the Rams.
Really?
I am picking the Rams. Matt Schaub was terrible this week. Absolutely fucking terrible. The O-line did nothing to help him. He threw picks left, right, and center. This team is not good. And if your quarterback is handing over the ball, and I'll repeat this stat if you didn't hear it, 4 consecutive games where he has done this, thrown an interception that was returned for a touchdown, 4 straight games in a row. That's not going to change overnight. I think because of how badly he's playing, the Rams are going to get an upset win here.
It very well could happen.
It could.
Is it going to be a close game? I think so, because both of these teams aren't very good right now. But I think Rams are going to get the upset here. And that's my crazy pick of the week.
Crazy.
The Green Bay Packers travel to the Baltimore Ravens.
I'm picking the Ravens here because while the Packers, I thought the Packers would be better this year than they would be good this year. They're not really looking that great. I don't know what it is that it seems like their offense just can't really get going. They have the pieces there. I think I think that the biggest problem is that this has been a problem for them in the past couple of years is they're lacking in the running game. And if you can only if you're scoring 22 points but most of those are field goals, yeah, Flacco may have had a really bad week 2 weeks ago and thrown 5 picks, but he did just play a close game and beat who was it again?
The Dolphins.
He beat the Dolphins, which are one of those sleeper teams. I think the Ravens could definitely. I think the Ravens will win because the Packers just don't have enough yet. They're not showing it enough yet on offense to really do enough.
They are the third-ranked offense in the league.
The Packers are?
Yes, let me read you the league rankings here. Packers, third-ranked offense in the league, 20th ranked defense, 4th ranked in passing, 5th ranked in rushing. Ravens, 21st ranked in offense, 14th in defense, 14th in passing, 27th in rushing.
It's just. I really do think that after that game, that the Packers are going to have a down have a down game here. They just did not. They performed not that well against a team that they should have performed better against.
No, yeah, that's true. That's true.
So this might be, I guess, my crazy pick of the week, considering.
It's not that crazy. I can see that happening.
It seems possible, especially because it seems like overall, even though they have very average stats at the moment, that the Ravens at least seem to be putting on the correct kind. At least they're it's hard to fucking explain, but for some reason the Packers have been underwhelming.
Yeah, they have. You picking the Ravens then, Ellie?
Yeah, I like the Ravens.
Guess I'm going against the mold again, and I'm picking the Packers.
The Packers.
I reserve my right to change my pick for this match, though. Could change to the Ravens. I can see it going either way for this game. Cincinnati Bengals travel to the Buffalo Bills.
The Bengals just showed that they have a defense enough to slow down. That they had a good defense that got to Tom Brady. Yes, he couldn't. He was not able to hit any of his receivers, but he was also getting hit. So they have a good defense, and I think it's better than the Bills' defense. So and given that EJ Manuel just went down, I think the Bills are going to fall here. I think I'm picking the Bengals, even but though very well considering how much the Bengals could only win by as much as they did. The Bills could potentially win. This could probably win. This looks like a bad game. That's going to be like a low scoring, close game.
Okay, a little bit of a random weird guess, because I always make a weird guess when it comes to scores. Nobody's going to score over 14 points this game.
That could very well happen. That could very well happen. You picking the Bengals or the Bills, Alan?
Yeah, I'm going Bengals because I just think that they're kind of but they're kind of consistently You gotta handle the
They're consistently You Yeah, I've got the Bengals on this one as well. Even I couldn't go against the mold on this one. Detroit Lions travel to the Cleveland Browns.
I think the Browns are just getting on a roll here, and as the Lions, while they have a good defense, are without Megatron. Matthew Stafford is a good quarterback, and they have somewhat of a tough defense, but the Browns could have a good one too, and I think they could cause problems for Matthew Stafford. Brandon Weeden looked pretty damn good coming back. I mean, like he played like he had something for. I think the Browns are going to continue to surprise people and win again here. So I'm picking the Browns.
When did Weeden come into the game this week?
I'm not sure.
Because if he came in late, that might.
I think he came in pretty early on.
What do you think, Ellie?
I don't think that Starscream has enough to. Football, right. Honestly, the Browns have surprised me. They're playing very well for, being the Browns. That's kind of like being the Dan in Street Fighter. It's just, like I said, Lions are the most flip-floppy team I can imagine, They blow it one week, then they kick ass the next week, then they blow it again, and it's just, they don't seem to have consistency. Can't hold their shit together,
Yeah, you got the Browns then?
Yeah, I'm going with the Browns as a kind of weird thing.
This could go either way, this game, really.
This is a tough pick.
It's going to be a really weird game, and I'm just going with the hunch.
Lions versus Browns is one of those weird games. It's kind of like Bengals versus Browns.
The user consensus is in favor of the Lions.
It is. And I can see why it is, because not a lot of people think the Browns are good still.
I'm sorry, but not a lot of people can get behind the Browns.
Not a lot of people can consciously get behind.
They're the Dan. Like, nobody even takes them seriously anymore, but, like, they're starting to like, just show them up.
I reserve my right to change my pick. I'm picking the Lions because Hoyer is injured. Weeden has a track record for fucking things up. One good showing does not erase a history of terribleness.
True, but, well, I mean, how good are the teams they've been facing the past couple of weeks where they got their wins from,
Not very.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? On that note, I'm going to actually have to change my pick to the Lions as well.
It seems like the Browns just got a couple of wins off some mediocre to bad teams. And, yeah, that's pretty much the best I can say about
They won against the Vikings, who weren't doing too well.
They got off on the back foot.
They got them on the back foot. After that, who did they go to after that? They beat the... Who else did they beat? The Browns. They beat the Bengals.
Cleveland Ball.
Meh.
Oh.
They beat the Bengals. Meh. And they beat the Bills. Meh.
Vikings are probably are harder than both of those teams. At least a little bit.
Vikings, Bills, and Bengals are the people these guys have beat, who have not been doing too well in their seasons on themselves. Lions are 3-2. Browns are 3-2. This could go either way. It could.
And I think that with the lineup, I think the Browns are just going to get harder and harder games every week.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just going to be a point where they just can't handle it anymore.
And my pick, the logic for this one is literally it's history. Does Brandon Weeden have a history of coming into a game when he's needed and actually putting on a good showing? No. He's got a history of fucking up. one
Well,
good.
last week he came in and he showed and he actually.
That's what. How long's he been on the team, Rocktown? That's one showing. That's like saying, it's like saying that Tom Brady sucks after that one bad game he had. No, it's Tom fucking Brady. Brandon Whedon can
Tom
have a
Brady
good
is
game.
still Tom Brady. It's just,
Exactly, it's Tom fucking Brady. He can have a bad game, but it's still fucking Tom Brady. Brandon Whedon can have a fucking good game, but it's still Brandon Whedon. I don't see them winning this. I really don't.
and I think the only reason why Whedon did so well the past 2 or 3 weeks is just because the other team has been not really something you can contest with.
Well, Whedon's been on the bench because of Hoyer. The only reason he's in now is because Hoyer's injured.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Lions for now. I reserve my right to change my pick. If things change, I might change it, but for now, I'm the Lions. Ali, you got the Browns?
Yeah, I might go to the Lions. I'm kind of 50-50 right now.
You can change your pick anytime, anyway, towards kickoff. Tennessee Titans travel to the Seahawks.
Yeah, this is the Titans who, regardless of their record or not, I think they're one of those teams where the record is not. It's a 3-2. It's a middle of the road. It's one of those teams where their record is not is not showing how how good this team actually is, and you really even hear of like who is on the team. That's another thing about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those teams that's like who,
and it's also
on this team.
And that also,
Shan Johnson. Oh, that guy. That hasn't done anything. And
there's nothing to write home about. It's kind of nuts.
And they're also facing the Seahawks at home.
Yeah, I think that the defense is just going to shut them down entirely.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, they don't bring the defense on the road, but at home, well, you better pray,
You better fucking pray.
Now, here comes the game that has tied the record for the largest point spread in
No,
NFL.
it's not tied, dude. It's not tied. It's beat it.
No, that's what I've heard. It's tied. It tied.
Dude, it's beat it.
There was another game. There was another game that had the same point spread that was a much earlier. That was like years.
It's a 28-point spread. It's beat the record.
What's a point spread?
Dude, I looked this up.
I heard it was beaten.
Nope.
I heard it was beaten unless I got wrong information. That's what I heard.
Tied point spread.
A point spread, Ali. It's to do with betting.
Yes, I just looked up I just found the article. I found an article. Bragg's Jags game spread ties the record.
Oh, okay, it tied the record. Okay. What a point spread is, Ali? It's to do with betting.
The highest spread, the other highest spread was the Baltimore.
So it's like betting. So it's like
the other spread that was 28 was the Baltimore Colts over the Falcons in 1966.
Oh, okay.
I gotta say, for almost like 50 fucking years.
Yeah, what it is, Ali, is the bookies say that the Broncos that basically are going to beat the Jags by more than 28 points. And there's a thing called beating the spread. So if the Jags are within 28 points of the Broncos or less, they've beat the spread. Doesn't mean they've won the game, but they've beat the spread. So let's say for example, the Broncos, it's like, I don't know, 28. Let's say it's 28-6, right?
Yeah.
Jags have beat the spread. So anyone that puts like a buck down on the Jags is instantly going to win money, even though the Jags lost.
That's a really weird system for betting. By the way, update, I won my first game as the Jaguars.
Nice. Yeah, that's what beating this. You can put money down on a team to win, or money down
for a team to lose, but not as many points as people think.
Yeah, that's beating the spread. You can put money down for either for them to win, or either for them to beat the spread.
I've heard people say they're willing to take the bet that the Jaguars would beat the spread.
I'm willing to take that bet.
I'm not.
Sorry,
I'm not. The Broncos just got just got torched by the Cowboys. Their defense is probably looking to come in and saying we're better than this, and the Broncos are just gonna shit can the Jaguars.
Sorry, but
The Jaguars. I'm sorry, I've said this before, and I still hold to this. The Jaguars should forfeit. They shouldn't even bother to come because they are going to get embarrassed. They are going to get completely. They're just going to get beaten so badly. They'll never. If the season wasn't going to bad enough for them before, they'll never be able to recover after the beating they take now.
I'm sorry, it's fucking over. Good lord.
Jags are going winless. That's what I'm predicting.
This might be probably one of the worst fucking curb stoms.
By the way, Blaine Gabbert got injured again.
It's
over for the Jags. Okay,
it's just over, dude.
They're going winless. I am picking against them every week, just so everybody knows.
They are going winless.
They're going winless. End discussion. Broncos fucking win. And you know what? I'd put money down for the Jags to beat the spread. Why not? I'd take that bet, but I wouldn't put much on it. So you'll put $5 down for them to beat the spread. Why not? Beat 28 points.
You know what?
Have you looked
at the user consensus? The user consensus is like the largest margin I've ever seen. 99% compared to 1%.
You know what I think is going to happen? I think the Broncos are going to score over 40 points, no problem. But I think that the Jaguars can slip in like 2 or 3 touchdowns. I think they can just somehow do it. But at the same time, I think they have no chance in hell of winning. So it's going to be like 17 or like 21 to 48. You know.
Yeah, I think they'll beat the spread, but they're not going to win the game.
But they have no fucking chance of winning.
No chance of winning. We all got Broncos on that one. Moving on, New Orleans Saints travel to the New England Patriots.
And the Patriots just suffered a very humiliating loss against the Bengals, who only beat them by 3 points, essentially. The Saints are going to kick their ass. This is the game where the Patriots finally get their ass kicked.
About fucking time. The thing I wanted happened last week. The thing I'm hoping for will happen this week. I wanted the Patriots to have an underdog team come in and just show them up. That happened last week with the Bengals. Now I want them to think that, hey, we're the Patriots, we can come back from this, and then the Saints are going to be like, nope.
I think the Saints are going to shut them down.
Yep.
They're just on a roll, and nothing's fucking stopping that.
I think the Patriots are in desperate need for Gronkowski.
They need that wake up.
They need Rob Gronkowski to come back in a bad way.
By the way, me and Ali were talking about this. Oh, I've changed what my Super Bowl is going to be. My Super Bowl, it's going to be Saints versus Broncos.
I
thought it'd be pretty good. Saints.
It looks like that's a pretty good. That sounds like an awesome game.
I know, right?
Think if it
I thought that the actual name for the Seahawk is the Osprey, and I thought, what if they called themselves the Ospreys?
That's my fucking Super Bowl right there. Saints versus Broncos. Be a fucking awesome Super Bowl.
Bitchin' Super Bowl. Huh?
A fucking awesome Super Bowl. I'd fucking watch it.
Are the Cardinals at Niners?
Cardinals at Niners. Niners win.
I was just thinking of this. The Cardinals did just be shut down. Who was it they played?
Who was it they played?
Yeah.
Let me check for you, dude. Cardinals, it was the Panthers, dude.
Okay, never mind.
They beat they just beat.
I just, dude, there is this could potentially be lower score. Could potentially be lower scoring than it might seem. But I think the 49ers will still win this.
Mm-hmm.
This might be a closer game than people I think expect.
Yeah.
It could be. It really could be, but I gotta go for the 49ers, dude.
49ers, yeah.
They had a really kind of meh beginning, but they got their shit together pretty quickly, and now they're just back to normal.
Mm-hmm. You got 49ers as well, Rock, didn't you?
Yep.
Okay, moving on to the Washington Redskins traveling to the Dallas Cowboys, the old school rivalry.
And the old school rivalry is, in this case, the Cowboys. They just put on a phenomenal. Tony Romo just put on the game of his career. The Redskins do not have a deep. Don't. No, while the Denver, I think Denver does have a defense. They just, for some reason, didn't show up. The Redskins definitely do not have one. And although RG3 is talented, he's only had one good game so far, and I just don't see the Redskins beating Cowboys in the state they're in right now.
There's something that happened that just is not letting them get it together anymore. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see it right now.
I don't.
And
I don't.
I think that Tony Romo's inflated ego will make him think that he can do another shootout against the Redskins. Well, I think that's my term for just do a shootout. No fucking defense whatsoever again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's the other thing. I forgot about that. Yeah, the Cowboys didn't just got torched by the Broncos, but that was the Broncos.
Who's the fuck the Broncos?
This is the Redskins.
This is the Redskins down on their luck.
Yeah.
I reserve my right to change my pick. Because part of me thinks the Redskins can get this done. I'm not picking them, but I'm saying part of me thinks they can get it done. This is Tony Blomo, okay? This is Interception Man. Tony Blomo, Interception Man, fucks up at the last minute, every nickname you want to give him under the sun.
Yeah.
Redskins could get this done. Do I think they're going to? No. I would need some persuading to choose the Redskins. I really would.
Yeah.
Will I be surprised if they get the job done? No. But I'll still need some persuading to pick them to win, so I'm gonna go with the Cowboys.
Even though I don't particularly like the Cowboys, because there's that. I don't hate Tony Romo himself as a person, really. Not really. He's not a bad guy.
No, he's not.
But he's not at least a completely terrible person. But he's not a leadership, as I said, and he has been known to throw his own players under the bus. So that does say he's at least a bit of a dick.
Mm-hmm.
A little.
A little bit.
It seems like he's the kind of save his own ass type.
Yeah, save his own ass. So he doesn't lose his job kind of thing, yeah. Indianapolis Colts travel to the San Diego Superchargers.
Super.
The Colts. This is going to be Monday Night Football returning to its terribleness, as the Colts.
I gotta say, if their team can't.
The Colts should get a pretty easy win against the Chargers. The Chargers might put up some points, but they're definitely not going to win this.
Yeah. Honestly, it's just like at the same time, it's just even if sometimes they can't get their team together right, they're
And this is-
probably better than the fucking Chargers.
I think Phillip Rivers will have a better game than, say, Tom Brady will. But
I think a shoe can do better than Tom Brady did last week.
Get a brain-dead monkey with a lot of time on his hands. He'd have done better than Tom Brady last week.
I don't think anyone could have done better than Tom Brady did, just because of how shit his receivers are. I just don't see how anyone could make those. Now, I don't even think Peyton Manning would do good with those receivers. I'm dead serious.
Honest, if it was Peyton, I think he'd put his team into line, because he's that kind of guy.
Yeah, Peyton takes no shit. And also,
well, Tom Brady wasn't taking any shit. He was yelling at his fucking players and at his team. He was like, "Get your shit together," and they just didn't do it.
And also with the Colts, Andrew Luck is a very good quarterback, especially for his age. Like, this kid, like, when I can't wait to see him get older, like, as a quarterback, because he's good now. Like,
he's become, like, fucking clutch.
He is very clutch. So, as years of experience go, he should only get better.
There is a possibility the Colts could falter in their defense and that Andrew Luck has to lead them in a comeback. If that's the case, the Chargers don't have the defense to stop him.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, no chance. If you have to, like, the words Andrew Luck and comeback should send fear into any team.
Yep.
I've got the Colts. You got the Colts, Ellie?
Yeah. I said I did earlier, but it's cool.
I didn't hear you, sorry. And those are the picks for this week.
I just wanted to mention that there's a little thing I wanted to mention is that the Atlanta Falcons, they're on a bye. They're another thing is Julio Jones got injured, their best receiver. That's bad luck for them. And he had, by the way, he had one of the best possibly one of the best catches of the week. He grabbed the ball out of the air for like a 46-yard pass with one fucking arm, like one-handed. It was like fucking badass. It was like, damn, that was awesome.
Well, another team on a bye is
but
the Dolphins.
Unfortunately, he got injured, and I basically have been forced to remove him from my fantasy team at this point.
Another team on a bye is the Dolphins, and luckily for us, when we come back, we'll be facing the Bills, so that's an instant win for us. I look forward to seeing the Dolphins back in action next week. Awesome. Yeah.
I have a tough opponent coming up I have a tough opponent this week in the fantasy league because Nathan has actually a really fucking strong team. I've done in the past week. I've done so many fucking moves.
By the way, I finally updated Jeff. I put a defense on the team because I didn't have one.
I told you. My team is almost virtually complete, is not even close to the same, is almost virtually completely different than what it was when I started. I've made that many moves. I think the only players I've kept so far, Jamal Charles, Marshawn Lynch, Witten, Tom Brady, which he traded me, and that is it. Everything else has changed. And my kicker, Adam Vinatieri of the Colts. But everything else I've changed. I've even gotten rid of Denver as my defense.
I'll need to look into changing some of my players, actually. Yeah, this was Stroke My American Footballs. My name is Riddler. Saying, are you ready?
This is Rocktan saying, "Hi, I'm James. I'm running for mayor. I don't have a chance in hell. Have you ever seen women wearing a gunt? You know what that is? It's this thing that they wear that covers their vagina. That covers their vagina. That's when I go out and that's when I start watching porn and imagine myself with another chick. Oh, whoops! Am I not supposed to say that as a mayor?"
Okay.
This was said to me by a random stranger I ran into at McDonald's.
Cool. Thanks for telling us, Rockhead.
It was very strange.
It's very informative.
Very, very weird.
Touchdown, Jacksonville! Yeah. Mirror, mirror, mirror.